and weren't able to get that anchor out of Obey's hands. And the last 3 hard points all went to 100% Obey, and they took it from him right there. Close matchups. Beautiful matchups. I love close stuff because, it really shows that how dynamic these maps and game types are compared to previous ones, and it's going to change things up. It makes it more entertaining for the viewer, makes it more entertaining for the casters, obviously, and that's always important, don't you think?
Yeah, there's nothing more annoying than when you're spectating a really boring game because you can't get into it and you can't get enthusiastic about the Call of Duty that you're watching. But that's the one thing I really, really love about Hardpoint. Obviously, it's a new game type in Black Ops 2, but how competitive are the games that we see in Hardpoint? It seems every time you get 2 top teams playing a game of Hardpoint, it just seems to always go down to the wire, and you never know who's going to take it. I mean, we saw it there. We were saying the whole game, thrust, they're ahead, looks like they're going to take it, and then out of nowhere, Obey come back and they managed to scrape out that victory.
Yeah, it's like Obey ooped them, went around back, and I watched half a second there. It took one play to change the tide. It took one solid anchor on the one hard point on the back left of the ice cream shop there, or laundry area, and once they got control of that one, it was just like a snowball effect. They captured the one, they transitioned, moved to the back of the wall, got the next anchor, and just played it very nicely. And that is top solid play from a professional team. I love to see that stuff.
Absolutely. Looks like the next map we're going to see as well is Search and Destroy, and I love Search and Destroy. For me, Search and Destroy it's my favorite thing. I absolutely love playing it, and I love spectating it, and Standoff as well. It's such a good map for Search and Destroy. Search
and Destroy also seems to be that crucial point in a matchup on all the teams. It's like their point to change the tide. Whoever seems to win the Search games comes out on top of the overall match. And I noticed this quite a bit at EGL, that the teams who won their Searches were the victors. You think we're going to see the same pattern here in Black Ops 2? Where Search is kind of the most important game type?
I kind of agree with that, but at the same time, obviously with Hardpoint coming in, because in Modern Warfare 3 we had Search and Destroy, CTF, and that was it. Whereas with Hardpoint being thrown in there, you kind of want to favour the teams that can win the Hardpoint, because Hardpoint is just because it's so new. I guess teams are still even now trying to figure out exactly how to play it. So I kind of think Hardpoint is maybe the new game type that's going to give those teams momentum to go through it in a best-of series and sort of grind out those victories. But I think that's something that we're only ever going to see in time, and we're only ever going to see it after a few more tournaments and LAN events.
We just need to let the game develop a little bit more and kind of play it out, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I kind of think we're going to have to watch it play out, and then we're truly going to see what the most important game type is. Because I completely agree. In Modern Warfare 3, it was Search and Destroy. If you won those Search and Destroys, that was it. You were pretty much going to win any game that you were ever faced against. Whereas with Black Ops 2, I think it's just a little bit different.
I think it's more action-packed. We see a lot more standoffs, some close one-on-ones with Black Ops 2 Search. I'm a big fan of that. It's high-action gameplay is what I'm used to. And typically in past Call of Duties, you get into Search, it's like, okay, we're going to sit here, we're going to wait for a minute, run the clock down. I don't see that at all in Black Ops 2. I see a lot of just go-for-the-throat type game style and plays from these teams. I think it eventually will slow down and get more methodical, where teams are actually building their strategies around Search. And I think, obviously kill streaks have added a whole new dynamic to Search play, especially, like you mentioned before, that throwing the 100 kill in the air after you plant the bomb is almost a guaranteed win, because now, the diffuser, even if he does kill you, he's got to contend with that 100 killer, which is insanely quick. If you start hearing the lock on, you only have like a fraction of a second to get under, any sort of cover or duke it out, or anything you can do to get it away, but it is very difficult to get on top of that.
It's the hardest thing. But as well as that, I've seen some really sneaky plays as well, because obviously when you use a lightning strike, it pings everyone on the opposition. So I've seen, 1v4 situations in SnD which have been completely turned on their head because a player has a lightning strike. So all he does is, at the start of the clutch moment, pings his lightning strike, gets a complete view of where the 4 opposition players are on the sort of tablet that comes up, and then straight away he has vision on where those opposition players are. And to me, that adds a completely new element into the game, and I personally really enjoy watching those moments. And I still think the community may be a little bit 50-50 on sort of on the bench about it, but for me, it just makes the game so much more better.
Well, you're allowed to do the ping once per round, right? So essentially, it's a UAV that you get to keep in your pocket for 6 rounds, possibly. if you get your airstrike on your first round, you're in good shape for the following. Really try to figure out where the enemy team is pushing off the start of the game.
Yep, and if you get your airstrike in the first round as well, you must be a god. Because that would be some crazy.
Well, if you get the plant and an ace, it's in the pocket.
It's possible, yeah, definitely. It would require a massive amount of skill, though.
So Sorry.
I was going to say, who are you spectating right now?
Yeah, right now I'm on Sensor. Sensor just picked off a couple hit markers, into the top of the 2-story blue, and they had a heavy push over towards A. A seems like the bomb site that everybody wants to go to off the start of Search and Destroy. It looks like we've got a 2-on-1. Fears and Sensor both pushing in. Fears gets a kill on Breezy, so they got a nice positional control over here on the right side by Tractor. They have one player remaining over in the middle of the map watching for any sort of cuts, and Saints is able to pick off one. Crumpy pushing in on the side, left wide open. Sensor's able to turn, and he grabs a beautiful turn on Crump. That was a nice play. He had some help, though. It wasn't just a one-man operation over there.
Yeah, that was really good awareness right there from Sensor, getting the turn on Crumpy. And what you did notice as well is at the start of that round, Thrust opting to use the smoke grenades just to make sure they could get across towards the tank, because you see so many sniper rifles and snipers go on top of that roof area and pick off players as they cross, and there's nothing more annoying than getting picked off from a sniper in SnD.
I have actually managed to do this. I've been grinding myself, trying to get back into the competitive game, play at least, because I feel like if you're going to cast a game, you need to play it on the same level you're watching. So I joined a search team, and I was running across the map, all of a sudden, bam, get headshotted, and I literally just dropped my controllers. That is so frustrating. It is so frustrating. But here we are. Saints is watching the backside, looking for anybody flanking. I'm going to switch over, take a look at what Sensor's doing. He's in meat shop, looking towards middle on main tank. He's got somebody in his sights, and he's able to put a couple shots down range. Gets a hit marker, not able to close it out. We got a 2-player advantage over on the left-hand side. The other players on the board have not shown, and we'll take a quick look. Breezy able to take out Fears, so that's going to put 1 on the board. And we got a 3-on-4 as you're looking on the map now. All 4 members of Obey. Very crucial. Let's go over here. Look at Sensor. Sensor's down. Clayster is looking up. Sorry, I just got stuck on the board. And I just missed it. I apologize. Wasn't able to switch out fast enough. But Obey basically swooped in on that bomb site and cleared house really quickly. And I apologize. I wasn't able to switch out of the map view. But there was some excellent gameplay that just went down here. And Trizzy closing it out, taking out Mr. Saints.
Yeah, it was some nice play coming from Obey, and it all happened so quickly as well. I mean, it was a 4v4, and then all of a sudden, within 5 seconds, it was a 1v4, and then it was it. That was over. But let's have a look. On board with Breezy right now, and he's actually just chilling in the spawn. He doesn't need to do any
equipment
rushing.
change. He did a quick equipment change there. Pulled out the PDW. Now he's back into the MSMC. And he's kind of weary about pushing ahead. Doesn't want to throw the early pre-nade too quickly. And he does have help to his left. He's got Mr. Wish Cray. And he's posted up, kind of switching back and forth. They're looking for that push towards A, which seems to be the typical route. Clayster takes out Cray. He's got a 2-on-1. Breezy with a beautiful 2-piece play. Just walks in there and cleans house, man. That is such a powerful weapon right there he's got in his hands.
I bet he's glad he made that switch up to the MSMC right there. Obviously, at the start of the round, trying to decide what weapon to use, and he's got himself a massive 2-piece on that A bomb site, and that is actually going to make it. In fact, no, Saints takes down Trizzy, so that's going to be 2-on-1, and it's going to be left to Breezy all by himself. He has 33 seconds, obviously, on the defensive round. Have a quick look at the map. There you go. Bomb has now gone down at A, so Breezy is going to have to try and make those moves.
So here's a quick question for you. Does he chance his 4-kill streak to push in here on a 2-on-1 situation, or is he going to hold it?
Just as you say that.
The caster curse. It's a question that I would have really liked to see, develop a little bit more. But is it something to consider if you got 4 points on your kill streak? Do you chance a losable situation when you're, the map count or the round count really isn't that vital at the moment?
To be honest, in that situation, I probably would have held back just a little bit. Maybe just try to pick off one player. Rather than just going, knee deep and just rushing straight in at the A bomb just to see if they can go for the massive heroic moment, because unfortunately there, as we saw, it didn't pay off. So I'm going to sort of go with that sort of stance where I would have taken it a bit slow, tried to take one, tried to build on that score streak, because when you're in that sort of position in SnD, that doesn't come along very often if you get yourself close to a score streak, because you can have those games in SnD where you just can't string together score streaks. You'll get a kill, but you'll die. You're not necessarily playing badly, but you just can't get the score streak. So when they do come along, I really think you need to savor them. As Breezy just gets a hit marker with that nade. So unlucky, but he is going to be making moves, and we're not seeing that traditional rush that you were mentioning earlier on, because it does seem so many teams head towards that A bomb site, whereas now it looks like they are actually going to switch things up.
Yeah, it's anticipated. So now we got a bit of an exchange over on the defensive tank area. We have a two-man positional on B. Sensor's able to take out Crumpy with a headshot there, and it's going to leave... it looks like Trizzy over to wrap things up. He's got hit markers into one, connects with the second, but Saints comes in, wraps it up, and it's switching over to the last man. It is a pretty close matchup. He's doing a lap around the B, trying to buy some time. He's got 30 seconds, and this is the point on Search and Destroy, which I always just get, worried, and it just happens there. Beautiful play, and they're able to hold on to it. Saints is able to wrap things up with Clayster, and they are going to get that bomb defused. And here's an interesting point with Clayster, already having 2 points on his current streak. He's going to let Saints continue on with his and get the points for the bomb defusal.
Yep, that's going to help Saints grow towards that score streak. And it's also going to make it 3-1 in rounds. That was so unfortunate, because in this 1 versus 3 situations, you see Breezy had to do that. He had to go for the kill on the bomb diffuser, because if he didn't, obviously the bomb's going to get diffused. But you just know that Thrust are going to have, the other 2 players around that bomb site, just trying to give as many cover on as many different angles as they possibly can. So it was just so unfortunate. But once again, we're seeing Thrust dominate early in this game. But are they going to fall back? Is Obey going to make another amazing comeback?
Yeah, Obey seems to be that team that, slow off the start, but gains momentum through the middle and finishes out very strong. Right now, I'm on board with Saints. Saints is bottom brown, looking in towards B, trying to catch one. He's got Breezy in front of him, took out Fears. He's pushing up, he sees one, throws hit markers into Craig. Craig goes down, he's got second front, and he's throwing it in there, but has to reload. If he had a couple more bullets, he would have had a beautiful play, but Crumpy able to swoop in, take the kill, and now we got Clayster and Sensor up against Crumpy and Trizzy. Exchange going in there. Clayster coming up huge with a beautiful 2-piece. So we now have a 1-on-1 Clayster up against Crumpy. Gonna show the board. They're both kind of looking at each other for half a minute. Clayster's gonna back up into the back of the store and reposition and come out a little bit stronger and try to figure out where it is that Crumpy is headed now.
Yeah, Clayster doesn't have that much time. Only 30 seconds left on the board for him to decide which bomb site to go to. But as well as that, he has to be trying to think, where is this opposition player going to be? And he may be just about to see him. He does see him, and he is going to have an engagement here. Can he find this kill? He is going to have to back off. 17 seconds left. This is where he has to make the decision. Does he go for the plant, or does he go for the kill?
Nobody likes to go 1v1 in a close range to mid-range battle against the fouls, so I think that was a smart choice by Crumpy to back up, as he didn't get the first couple shots off. He was already heavily hurt, and backing up is going to buy him a little bit more time, but there goes that hunter-killer, and now they're exchanging backside, and right through the tractor, Clayster is able to grab the kill on Crumpy, but he did unfortunately waste that kill streak.
He did, but I think in his eyes he's going to rationalize that, and he's going to see that as not wasting. That was just his safety net, because he got the kill either way, and that is going to give Thrust a bigger lead now. I think that just shows that they are feeling a little bit cautious. They don't want to throw away another map. Obviously, we just saw them lose that hardpoint game just amazingly. Obey with a great comeback. So you can just see Thrust there feeling a little bit cautious about things and wanting to make sure they win each and every round.
So here we go on board again with Sensor. Sensor's pushing into the middle side of bottom side brown into the 2 stories, grabs one. The jump shot misses, both exchanging shots, forcing Sensor to back up into the courtyard, look towards on backside of the tank area. Saints able to come in, clean up that kill that initially Sensor started. That's going to grab Saints some more points, and now we're seeing a good lockdown of the map as everybody's kind of in a good position. Sensor's now got somebody in front of him. He didn't actually see him on the map, or sorry, see it on his eyes there, and he does going to get takeout from Cray. Unfortunately, not able to get in position quick enough to take the kill.
I hate those moments where as a caster you can see the player, but you know the player you're spectating hasn't seen him. You feel so bad. And Sensor's paid the price there with his life. But Saints, once again, found himself on a streak. He's on a 2 streak, turns the corner, nearly shuts down Breezy, but the Vanity is on fire. Breezy's going to need to be careful, but doesn't matter.
Fears comes in with the sniper shot, something we don't ever see enough of. I love sniper play, and if you can incorporate it and pull off a beautiful shot like this, Beautiful. And it's a quick scope.
Get the quick scope.
Fears, is jumping up for joy. That was a beautiful, beautiful shot. And I just want to point out there, too, that we saw the one player on Thrust with all of his kill streaks, air support, airstrike, and a Hellstorm missile. So that's going to come into play here, I'm sure, in this last round. Or potential last round, sorry. Did I just curse it as a caster curse? Oh, I hope not. I hope not.
I think you may have done as Obey. Trizzy actually got the first goal there, shutting down center. Now it's Clayster who has the score streaks in his pocket. So he's going to need to be very, very careful. He actually shut down Cray. And he is going to pull them in right now.
There goes the Hellstorm. 2 on there, and he crafts both of them. Breezy and Crumpy getting taken out, shaking their heads, I'm sure. I'd be so frustrated. And now he's looking to close things out even stronger, looking into the bottom side, the middle, but around the backside, and taking that kill. And Breezy, Crumpy both leave the game there in a sign of frustration, I'm sure. They were looking to close out a 2-0 map lead. And, Thrust has come back. Now we're all tied up at 1.
Yep. That was actually not as close as I thought it was going to be, especially after watching that first hardpoint game. I expected this search and destroy to be a lot closer, but Thrust just made that look so simple. To be honest, if they can carry on playing like that, they basically played that whole SnD how they started in the hardpoint, just sheer dominance.
Oh yeah, their positioning was on point, their shots and weapon choice. I can't believe Fears got that quick soap. That was dirty shot. I'm going to have to cut that out and submit it to MLG's top 5 plays because that deserves it for sure.